Welcome to Man Up Monday, the show where men sit around talking about man stuff.
Ladies, this one's unfortunately not for you. Grab your husbands, grab your dads, get them to watch.
No girls allowed.
Welcome to my garage. Welcome to my man space. This is my athletic equipment, gardening supplies, flame, charcoal, fluid. This is, you can't see the mess that is my father-in-law's workbench. I'd say it's my workbench, but I'll be honest and say he uses it more than I do, and most everything he bought. So, the athletic gear, though, that's more my department. Careful with that, you may hurt somebody.
That's fine.
So,
It'll trigger me.
what week are we in, though? Is this week 6?
5?
I honestly don't even know.
5,
What is
6,
time?
7, 8.
Let's go 5.
5? Week
4.
5.
4?
At least 5.
4.
No, because we went your
5.
house,
It's the second time my
back
place,
deck,
your place
my
twice,
deck,
your place.
your house. Now we're here.
This is
I
5.
mean, just my house next week.
We're in week 5.
Week 5.
We are
Coming at you.
fixed. That took 45 minutes to figure out. Have a nice show. See you next time. Week 5 of Man Up Monday, and COVID-19. Nate still got his cough he's had since week 1, so we know that that's been around this whole time.
It's been haunting me since January.
We got Steven back in the middle where he belongs. Because last week's show we had Steven on the edge and it didn't work out.
It
very
messed
well.
everything up.
It really did. No, I think Nate and I are flipped, aren't we? I'm not sure. We'll try it out.
Doesn't even matter.
We'll just see what happens. This is the
Okay.
deck we were in.
We'll have to go back and watch episode 1, see where we were.
We were really just lost.
Yeah.
This is the greatest hits episode.
I feel like that's a metaphor for our lives right now. I'm kind of just lost. What do we do? What's even happening? What day is it?
Sunday.
Thursday.
So Monday, you're watching on Monday. We're filming on Sunday. It might be Friday.
Oh, but when I say it's Sunday, everyone has a cow.
That's true.
How's that work?
Oh.
Nebraska.
Hey, before we get started, guys, man up shout out. Curtis Borchers
Curtis Borchers.
ran a marathon yesterday. Supposed to have ran it in Lincoln, where they have like 1.5 hills in the entire city. Ran it in Battle Creek in Madison County, where there's like death hills south of town.
That's so true.
And no wind blocks. Hats off to you, Curtis.
Wait a minute.
I'm not sure if you're watching or you catch these. Hope you do. But well done, sir. Well done. That was impressive and exciting to see you do that yesterday and follow through on that. I go 26.2 miles. Bear is probably chasing me.
I won't.
I would trip, fall,
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah, but talking about, we don't know what day it is. We don't know, like, those things that are going on. I mean, what is going on? Guys, what is going on? Where you at?
Today was demo day in the Whitney house, doing another project, working on our back room space that has been gathering dust and it's a nice way to say crap.
Junk.
Junk.
You can say that this video is not made for kids.
Right, crap. A whole bunch of stuff in our back room area that also is collecting now in Heather's craft room area too. So we have decided that we are going to get her done, tear it up,
You can't say that. That's copyrighted.
get redone, get it. We're going to start something and finish it to completion during this time, which actually is really easy because this is not really constructing, it's just demolishing and refinishing.
I thought the manly thing was to do like 90% of it and then be done.
I mean, that's why I haven't done baseball.
90% in the first weekend, and then 4 years later.
Right. I mean, I still have baseboard that needs to go down and utilize in the kids' bathroom. So, like, that's fine. Why do I need to finish that when I have a new thing to start?
That's right.
I did bite the bullet. I walked into Menards yesterday.
As did all of Madison County.
As did the entire
Except
population of the county. Every man in Madison County.
Every man in Madison County went to Menards yesterday.
I went to Baumgart's. It was
Oh,
busy
okay.
too.
All right, so we have little
Okay, let's not talk.
Yeah.
No political here.
But of course, put on my face mask to go in there because it's apparently recommended, and my wife insisted I did.
And everyone is there.
And found 420 pounds of sand because our family, we put up a portable basketball hoop in our yard driveway, and so 420 pounds of sand to weigh that down. And I have no idea where things are at Menards, and bags of sand is not on my regular knowledge list, so I did have to do the unmanly thing and ask for help. But came home with 420 bags of sand.
420 bags.
420 pounds of sand.
How many bags is that?
7 bags, 7 60-pound bags
Okay.
of general all-purpose sand that now fill our portable basketball hoop. And good times. So, trip to Menards, made it to the man store.
Yeah.
I don't go there very often, but made it there yesterday.
Yeah, I drove past Menards and I was like, nah, I'll keep going to Baumgars because there was a line to get a parking spot, and I was just like, nah, I'm not doing that. So we went to Baumgars, and I don't even know what we bought. Dog treats, I think. And yeah, other than that, I'm watching my grass grow. I got a bunch of grass seed down, so just sit there, watch the grass grow. That's pretty much my life.
Pretty exciting.
I know.
That could be a sport. Competitive grass growing.
Competitive grass growth.
Competitive grass. I mean, what else is there?
Well, like 2 weeks ago, we talked about having like a lawn of the week award or something.
Yeah.
We could try that out. Competitive grass growing.
I'm gonna make a sign. Probably have to go to Menards to get a sign. It says Lawn of the Week.
The Man on Monday, lawn of the week, sponsored by.
Yours truly.
If you would like to sponsor the Lawn of the Week, please contact us.
Your lawn might be the first one up. Well, so getting caught up on some projects or shopping for dog treats, whatever drives you to the man stores.
Gotta feed the children.
Gotta feed the children. Don't get me started. You might get me triggered for a minute there. I mean, I got teenagers. So that stimulus check is gonna feed them maybe
For a week.
for a week. I went to Hy-Vee today and spent most of that. No, not mean, but not quite that bad.
Not really.
It's amazing how having the kids not at school, we have to feed them. How does the school feed them for?
How do they eat what the school feeds them? Like, they don't want to eat anything but sugar.
True. My son eats peanut butter and jelly 4 meals a day. And I'm not exaggerating because we give him
Honestly,
5.
I'm surprised Silas has not turned into a Cheez-It. Like, that's all he eats. Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
And Nate, the dogs are turning into milk bones.
Yeah, we went with like those little T-bone treats this time.
Okay.
So,
The Mentor dogs are spoiled.
yep.
Obviously. My son is not because he has to eat peanut butter and jelly 4 times a day. And Silas with Cheez-Its.
That's the only thing. Yeah. And he's in his terrible twos.
Are
Like,
they name brand Cheez-Its or are they like great value brand Cheez-Its?
yeah, we haven't gone that far yet. It's the Cheez-Its.
You're still name brand Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
It's
I
good.
mean, some things are worth the money. Charmin toilet paper, Cheez-Its. Yeah.
But I do have to say, every time when we finish dinner and my son is like, hey, we finished lunch. And my son's like, hey, what's for dinner? I'm like, you just ate. I'm hungry. Like, driving me batty. Like, I could take that bat and I won't because I'm not gonna,
This is my bet that I'm
I'm
pulling.
not gonna condone, child abuse or violence, but it just frustrates me so much.
It's true.
And it's not getting any better. Being home more with the children is driving me a little more crazy.
Honestly, I'm losing my mind. I have a almost 4-year-old teenager, and I have a son in his terrible twos. And there are so many tears, and the kids cry. Like, it's terrible.
I was waiting for that. I thought that was coming.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And it's. I mean, I understand. Like, they've had their routine shaken up. They're just wanting love and attention. But I can't all the time just carry the child, and that's all they want, and I can't. And so I've been keenly aware of wow, am I really Is this real life?
It's all a dream.
It's all a dream.
all
I'm
a
just
dream.
gonna wake up. This is Inception.
So fairly soon it'll all end and it'll be just a bad nightmare.
I sure hope so.
Anything getting stuck in your craw right now? You're from Southern Indiana. I can pull out some words like that once in a while.
I'll pray on it.
All right.
Speaking of you, your dog's daughter, aka my dog,
This is all your fault.
it's all your fault. I'm gonna blame it on
your dog's daughter.
Nate and Clue and, the Midnight Suitor. You know who you are.
Are we talking about the mating habits of dogs?
No, I'm talking about the Midnight Suitor of Nate's dog. So Dez escaped again on Friday. We were getting ready to, we take the kids into town and we just put them in the van and they watch Frozen while we sit in the parking lot. And so we're all getting ready to go. Heather goes to put Dez in her kennel while Eliza goes to open the door to get outside. Where does Dez run? Not her kennel, to the door and through the door that Eliza had opened. Half an hour later, I finally catch her in Jason Lyons. They have like a kennel on the backside of their shed. She went in there and I finally caught her, but I literally chased after her for a half hour. And I could have shouted, I did shout at her, and I tried to kick her once, but that just
Michael Vick here, folks.
floored me. Yeah, right, that dog's so fast,
She'll legit run right at you. This is something that triggers me. Steven's dog getting out.
it really is. Let's talk about my dog.
I have spiked things before because she'll run right at you. And you'll be like, come here. And she'll get to about right there and she'll just turn 90 degrees. And she'll be like, joke's on you.
A half an hour she was running, and she didn't tire down. I'm sorry for everybody whose backyard she ran through. Connie, she made it all the way down there.
Connie's not watching.
Connie's not watching,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
whoever can tell Connie I'm sorry. Jason, Jennifer, their backyard majorly.
So my kids, Steven's dogs, his kids, and his dogs. What triggers you guys? We're talking about things that are kind of getting on our nerves, making us angry. What is it you're dealing with that's just I just can't take this anymore? And whatever that is, if you think about that, we're going to move into talking about how we kind of cope with that. But what is your thing? What's your trigger? And I'm not going to do this like the Dora the Explorer. Hey, what makes you angry? Oh, that's a good idea. But seriously, guys, let's talk about things that have gotten us kind of since we're right here right now and we're not throwing things at pictures of my children or your dog or children or his dogs. So what are things, ways that we kind of cope with those triggers? Because they're not changing.
And honestly, I think fuses are getting shorter.
Oh, yeah.
It's testing patience, testing all that.
Rebellious 4-year-old is cute the first week of quarantine.
The first week of quarantine, oh yeah, Eliza wants to spend time with Dad, and oh, Silas wants to be held, and I just love cuddling with you, and then it's stop it, don't touch me, go to bed on time.
So Nate, you're a pretty laid back guy.
Yeah,
What's your strategy for staying kind of calm amidst all the triggers?
I'm laid back, and I'm going to work right now still. So, just looking solely at me, not my wife, my dogs, or anyone else, solely at me, my life hasn't, hardly changed at
right.
all. So I guess for me, it hasn't really been a change of routine. Now, looking and just watching and observing Cass, totally different story. Her routine is completely messed up. I mean, she's sleeping till 8 a.m. now, which is
Whoa.
unheard of. And, but I mean, you can just see it in her wick is starting to get shorter, like you said. Mm-hmm. And things that normally don't try her are starting to try her. So I guess that kind of forces me to think a little bit more as well. You know, as her spouse, you know, what can I do to help her? What can I do to not, you know, trigger her? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess it's not so much looking at myself, but so much what can I do for somebody else to help them?
Husband of the Year award goes to Nate Benter.
Don't
Darn,
forget it.
I wasn't going to win that one anyway.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Cass?
I mean, let's look at your competition.
Hey, I'll take any husband of the year award.
I mean
I
that,
get.
yeah, but that is a true thing. It's not just us who are getting quick to the trigger. Like there is a housemate or a house full of people who are dealing with a new routine that is ongoing. It's not like new and exciting. It's not new and fun. Like this is life, and we are now learning how to live with each other, and it's no longer fun. Like it's taking its toll.
If I wasn't going to work but working from home and having to see my wife 24/7, Cassie would be sitting here in place of you, and we would be discussing marital things with Pastor.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You do have a free marriage counselor though. Free marriage counselor if you need it.
Thanks for advertising. Appreciate that.
Free advertisement.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Shameless
plug. A lot of guys you hear. I mean, we're sitting here having a beer or two, guys, and
Yeah.
you know, a beer or two down, no problem. But for some guys, how do they avoid those triggers? It's a little too much of this stuff.
Yeah.
Or they're turning on, you know, maybe internet gambling or pornography, or I mean, maybe violence even, taking out, maybe either kicking the dog or worse. I mean, those are obviously not the answer, and I hope, you know, guys, that's where we're able to avoid that temptation too. But I think the reason that those things kind of come to us is because that's an area where I can exercise some control, or at least in my mind, that's me exercising some control over my situation. And it's really the opposite. It's a lack of control, loss of control, that drives into those addictive type of behaviors. But the way our brain works and the way Satan's lied to us, suddenly those things become, we think we are gaining control while we're losing control. And so for me, how I find to how do I really grasp that control, and it's, you know, the old trick that I've always taught in marriage counseling is take a time out. You know, I mean, football coaches get 3 a half. I don't let them use them when I'm refereeing. In fact, I try to avoid it, but I can't stop them. You know, marriage, you get an unlimited number of timeouts. I mean, in life, you know, a customer is really on your, I mean, let me go check on that. Let me take a minute. You can always take a timeout. There are very few situations in life where you can't take that time out. And I got to get better at just saying to my wife, hey, Jess, I can't call her that. Sorry. Hey, Jessica, I need a timeout. Hey, kids, give me a minute, all right? Give me a second and take a timeout. You know, but you always got to come back to the game. You can't take a timeout and just ignore the game. And so I'm just recognizing that I am losing control right now. I've been triggered. I can feel the blood capillaries in my face kind of ready to explode. That anger coming on, and which is an interesting fact. You guys, interesting fact. This is interesting. So
Time out. Interesting fact.
Interesting fact. Like, so Old Testament, like Hebrew, there's no word for anger. I mean, there's no word for anger in the Hebrew language. It's an idiom to have your nose burn. And that's this idiomatic way the Hebrews talked. So the word for anger is literally to have your nose burn at somebody.
Learn something new.
Because your face turns red, you know, and I mean, it's what we talked about earlier, you know, when God says God is slow to anger, the literal translation of that is he's long of nose. It takes a long time for his nose to turn red. Me, not so much. My short wick getting shorter, so my nose is getting redder faster. And it's like, I need to be able to recognize, I need a timeout, I need a timeout, I need a timeout, and then be willing to call one. And so for me, you know, that's what I'm working on right now, actually, to be honest. It's a challenge for me. It's something that I'm like challenging myself to do, is to see, BJ, you need a timeout. Because my wife can't say, hey, BJ, you need a timeout. That's the exact opposite of fixing our problems. Kids can't say, hey, Dad, you need a timeout.
Stop getting mad.
Because that's going to,
Don't get
there
mad.
goes my nose.
Mad.
There goes my nose. It flew off my face. So I need to recognize, and that's what I'm working on doing, is I got to call a timeout. And so that's for me. That's what I'm working on. If you need that, take it. Do it for yourself too.
Just make sure when you call that timeout, make sure that your wife doesn't think you're throwing her a tee, because that could go downhill quick.
That's true. This isn't basketball.
That's right. No technical fouls in the bedroom or in the kitchen or anywhere else.
Right.
So that's what I'm working on. Steven, what about you? How you going to work on your little issue with
I'm just working on my kitchen or my back room, whatever that room is.
throw yourself into work?
Throw myself into work. Yeah. I mean, that could also be a not healthy thing for the people who can overload. I mean, sorry.
We're going to pause for a forklift drive by.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We took a time out.
That's true. I mean, time out, yeah. Just remove yourself from the situation. Take a break. Go breathe. Go just get out of there. Even just calm down. I mean, after Des got out and was running around, we got in the van and I drove. I was calm by the time we got into town. But I mean, a gilded tongue is some sort of proverb.
Something a proverb.
Something a proverb should say. It's knowing when to speak and when not to speak. Like not just when to back up, but hold your tongue. Because I mean, when we were acting on the adrenaline, the anger, the testosterone, we're just gonna run our mouths and say something stupid. That's going to cause more problems with the people who you live with. So yeah, not just take a time out, but know when to or when not to say something. Hold your tongue, because it's probably going to diffuse yourself in a couple minutes, a little bit, just yeah. Nate?
Well said. No,
Trademark line.
I think again, for me, it's a little bit different because my life hasn't changed. So for me, it's watching Cass and seeing, she's going through a lot right now, just with school and her masters and not being able to get out as much as she used to, and her foot and everything else. And so for me, it's just trying to get her away from, it's almost like I'm trying to get her away from life. Does that make sense? So you guys are trying to get yourselves away. Right. I'm trying to get her away.
So the partnership of marriage is not just taking a time out for yourself, but I mean, if you see your wife who is starting to also, get angry, hey, encourage her to take a time out, and maybe even what you need to do is have that conversation. I mean, and beginning of May 6th, 11th, we still have at least 3 weeks of this. That's if all goes well. But I mean, if I would say have that conversation with your spouse. Go talk to your wife and be like, hey, these are a couple things. When I get mad, I need to do this, and if we're going to, get through this quarantine without, needing a lawyer or something,
or a gravedigger.
Or a gravedigger. If our marriage wants to survive this quarantine, let's talk and let's have this conversation. How can I support you when you get angry and vice versa? If something's going to be a train wreck, let's prevent it from happening.
And it doesn't have to be anything big, for me, it's, you come home, maybe we play 10 minutes of Mario, or maybe at the end of the day I say, hey, let's go drink a glass of wine, sit by the fire. Let's just take a quick quick lap around Battle Creek on our bikes. Like it doesn't have to be, an all-night endeavor. It's just 10 minutes for a timeout.
Right.
That's like 10 times more than a full timeout.
And guys, and then you have to be your spouse. I mean, you may have a guy friend who struggles with some of these issues, or maybe you are and you need a guy friend to help you out, to keep you out of the bottle too much or out of the pornography or whatever else it might have lapsed into. Reach out to your guy friends too, for support, and support one another. I'm blessed to have these guys who I can vent to once in a while. May have to do it socially distanced at 4.5 feet apart. I mean 6 feet apart, or over the telephone or whatever else it is. But we can reach out for each other too, and it doesn't just have to be for you and your spouse. It can be you and a good friend of yours also. Something to keep in mind there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Amen.
Well said.
All right. Well, gentlemen, if you have something for us, we hope you're kind of picking up stuff out of our material here. We just talk to the camera for fun. We're hoping you're listening. If you have any comments for us, some suggestions for topics for us to talk about, feel free to leave those in the comments, or maybe beg your wife to leave it in the comments if you don't feel like it.
Text, phone call.
Text, phone call, email.
Wolf. We're open.
If you send a carrier pigeon, we'll take those. You can fox it to us.
Wolf is the office. I don't know about Fox.
Fox it to me. So, fox them.
Either way, if you like what you're hearing,
Rob
why don't you-
men in tights. Come on. Fox them. Anyway, some people will know what I'm talking about. Others will not. That's okay. Yeah. So send us some information, some feedback. We'll talk about it. You send us a topic. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Hit that like button.
Share it.
Like, share. Yeah.
Send it to your friends.
Send to your friends, tag them, link them, whatever it takes. So, gentlemen, thank you much. Guys, blessings, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
you wanna
That
make-
might not happen this year.
Play digitally, electronically on EA Sports.
At the old ball game on the Xbox.
Who was the better quarterback, Tommy Frazier or Eric Crouch?
Well,
Mike Ditka.